Excellent. We start the live. It's Tuesday, 1 o'clock. Here on Good Food and You, my name is Lucas Simmons. I am your holistic nutrition practitioner here every Tuesday at 1 p.m. with a couple of pointers and tips on how nutrition can be of service to you, regardless what you've got going on, but usually zeroing in on what the main topic of the month is. So here for October, we're focusing on sleep. And those good practices you can put in place to help support your sleep. Now, if the stuff that we cover today feels super harried and hard for you to follow, I encourage you to get in touch with me. Just send me a private message. I'll give you a link to book in for a free 15-minute consult. And then we figure it out from there. You don't have to do this alone. That's what I'm saying. So before we get into the food ways of supporting you through those key nutrients that are missing when sleep is an issue, we got to first start with this is not a diagnosis, nor is there a guarantee offered. If you are struggling with sleep, it is really worth it to actually go with your medical team to search and see what's at the root of why sleep is an issue. If you want to know how those foods can help you better improve your sleep, then holla my way. Do I think food's the only thing that'll help? No. Do I think food is a really big piece of the puzzle? Yeah, obviously. Okay. I'm a holistic nutrition practitioner based in the southern parts of Alberta. I've been doing this since 2014, so 6 years now. So I love what I do, and my specialty is in helping people feel good. Feel real good. Not just good, but real good. So they can get through their day, regardless of what you've got going on. And I approach things from the point of view of inflammation, that low-grade chronic kind that can stoke the fires of blood sugar imbalances, hormonal imbalances, and can shut down digestion and a bunch of other things, which now leaves you susceptible for developing some icky things or things where your body's not working as well as you would want it to. And my special gig is in trying to put in those food pieces in place so we can work at balancing all these things out. Now, if you understand that sleep is deeply impacted by those hormonal imbalances, and sometimes disrupted sleep is a really surefire sign that there's a blood sugar imbalance issue going on, or that chronic inflammatory stuff going on behind it, then this is gonna start to make sense very soon. Also, note to you, it's always the same foods and the same things. So it doesn't matter what you've got going on, real food's going to help. That's where you start. But today I want to focus on 3 nutrients that are often missing when sleep is an issue. So 3 key nutrient deficiencies that can contribute to sleep troubles. So I'm going to go right off the bat, name the 3. If that's all you want, thank you for checking in. See you later. The 3 nutrients are going to be vitamin K2, zinc, and protein. If that's all you want, see you later. Goodbye. Now, if you want to stick around and know why, let's get into it. So, vitamin K2 is your first one. I'll give you food ideas and all sorts of things after. K2 is a really important nutrient. It's a vitamin. It's a fat-soluble animal version of a vitamin. There's K1 and K2. They really shouldn't even be both named K because they don't do the same things at all. They're very, very different nutrients. K1 is a plant-based nutrient that does a lot of great circulatory work and support of your cardiovascular system, K2 and your liver. K2 is an entirely different beast. K2 is needed to help deposit calcium where you want calcium to go. Here's why this is an important thing when it comes to sleep. So your ability to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up rested is dependent on this gland that you have in the smack dab middle of your head. If you go this way, this way, this way, it is a little gland called the pineal gland, and it's the size of a grain of rice. That big. It's teensy. You are a marvel. First things first. What does this teeny tiny little gland and grain of rice have to do with calcium though, Luca? As we age and as we've moved away from a traditional diet, the foods that your ancestors would have eaten. Paleo, maybe, not necessarily. I don't think recently was that paleo, except maybe in the last 10 years. But real food provided very important nutrients in adequate amounts that nourished us from head to toe to function. And that is how our genetics evolved. Enter the change of how our food is manufactured and brought to the table. And we've started to lose food sources of this very important nutrient called vitamin K2. K2 happens to be stored in animal fats. There's a little tip. Who in the room was told to stop eating fats because they're going to cause heart disease? Like how many years? Did you go 10, 20 years not eating fats because you didn't want to have a heart attack? Oh, I don't want to have a heart attack either. But in ditching those fats, what we've now lost is this vitamin K2. And K2 is a really key player because it helps deposit calcium where you want it, in the bones. If you're lacking K2, you start to deposit calcium in other parts of the body, including plaque, right? Atherosclerosis, heart disease, the hardening of your arteries, the deposit of calcium in your joints for some people. For others, you can start depositing it on that teensy tiny little grain of rice smack dab in the middle of your head. This calcification of your pineal gland is a problem. It starts to rigidify our life, unfortunately, and we start to slow down on the function of the pineal gland. So one of the key nutrients to help get calcium deposited where you want and not on your pineal gland is vitamin K2. There's a little bonus here. Every food source that has K2 will typically also have vitamin A in the animal form, which is another really key ingredient. I didn't include it today because I talk about it all the time. But vitamin A is retinol in the animal version. There's a plant beta-carotene. Animal is retinol, fat-soluble vitamin, water-soluble vitamin. The fat-soluble vitamin you need for your eyes to be able to register sunlight to send the message to your pineal gland to sweep and clean up the house. And you need that vitamin A to do that action. So wherever you're eating those K2 foods, you will typically be also adding in those vitamin A foods. What are your best sources of K2? Natto, by far and above, the best food to help clear sleep issues. It's a ferment. It's a funky tasting ferment that once you try it, you can't go back. It's so delicious. There's a local producer here in Calgary, Kiyoko Fermentation, and they do some brilliant ferments that you can find at shops like Brew in Ramsey, the Light Cellar in Bowness, and you can find at some of the health food stores around town. So look for natto. That's one of them. Another place where you'll find it is in organ meat. So eat your liver. Yeah, I just had liver pate again for lunch. Love it so much. Have some butter, ghee, egg yolks. Anywhere there's an animal fat, you will have a really lovely source of A and K2. Okay. Item number 2, zinc. Zinc is going to be a super key nutrient to help get to sleep and help to stay asleep. Here's why. You need, actually there's studies that show that a zinc deficiency can actually lead to insomnia. Well, there's the evidence. Here's why you need it. You need zinc to make a conversion of the amino acid called tryptophan into the end product called melatonin. So you've probably heard melatonin. That is a hormone that your body makes that you need to turn the lights out and go to bed inside your head. So you need the ability to take tryptophan and move it into melatonin, which is a few steps down the line. And these chemical equations, it's like a recipe. You go from tryptophan into 5-HTP into serotonin. Yeah, the feel-good chemical. And from serotonin into melatonin. So there's a couple of stages. What's tryptophan? Oh, it's a protein. Comes from a lot of different sources. We'll talk about it in a second. But tryptophan, 5-HTP, into serotonin, into melatonin. Each of these steps in the recipe requires a zinc molecule, or 2 or 3. If you don't have zinc, you can't make those conversions. How's the ability to make melatonin going for you? Do you think you can make it well? Maybe if you added zinc and then all of a sudden you magically see that you're sleeping better? Wouldn't that be a nice thing? Yes, food can help, friend. I'm here to help. So zinc really helps to do those conversions to put your ingredients into the usable form of what you need to fall asleep. Where do you find zinc? Okay, good question. I anticipated you're asking that. Oysters, nettle. I know, I talk about it all the time. Seafood and seaweed, especially from the ocean. There'll be tons of zinc in it. Yes, please, all the time, twice a week. Pumpkin seeds, peanut butter. What? Do you know where else that is? Liver. I'm sorry, have you figured out yet that liver is kind of like a really amazing food to add if you're having a hard time sleeping? Yeah, you should probably make some liver pate. Just saying. Okay, I'm blue in the face, I know. Okay, item number 3. The nutrient you need that can be a problem when sleep is an issue is protein, specifically for the offering of tryptophan and for the offer you need to make all of those neurotransmitters for your brain to be able to go, shh, I'm going dodo. M'en va faire un petit dodo, comme on dit chez nous. You need protein for the brain to go to sleep because neurotransmitters allow your brain to go to sleep. Well, what are neurotransmitters made of? Oh, protein. Also, melatonin is a hormone you need for sleep. What is the backbone of hormones? Protein and cholesterol. Again, did you want to make sure you're eating the egg yolks with the K2? Oh, it's also going to help with that. I know, I'm on Team U. Oh, what else has cholesterol? Liver. Oh, aren't you doing well? Good work. It's like the same food all the time. Why don't you just eat real food? We're going to uncomplicate things. That's how you get there. But protein really is one of those key nutrients to help you get to sleep because you need it for those ingredients to allow your brain to turn off and go to sleep. So protein provides your body with some of those tryptophan amino acids. And again, amino acids are just the small building blocks of protein. Okay? What are the best sources of this? Turkey. Everybody talks about sleeping at Thanksgiving. Turkey, poultry, dairy products, anywhere you will find protein will be a really key thing to add into your regimen. So having a good amount of protein, taking a look at your day-to-day meals. Are you eating enough protein? Why don't you start making sure you've got it at every meal, including breakfast? Oatmeal isn't going to cut it anymore. You need protein in there too. I'm not against oatmeal, but I am pro add in a really good egg on top of your oatmeal. Probably a good idea. It's going to give you the K2 and the A, which was our first nutrient. It's a good source of zinc, as it turns out, and it's a good amount of protein. Have a couple eggs on the side if you can tolerate. If you can't tolerate, then move to a sausage or liver pate, maybe. Good idea. So all of these foods are real food, and that is really one of the biggest influencers on your sleep. More than this, though, if you're still having a hard time sleeping and you've added all these pieces in, then we need to dig deeper and see what else is going on. If you're eating protein, can you actually break them down? Well, we need to assess that. If you are eating like a queen, but you're having such a hard time getting those nutrients in different parts of the body, how are those conversions working? Are you able to get minerals ferried into your system? Maybe you're having a hard time digesting fats. Fats ferry in minerals. How's that going? Is your liver okay? Do you want to talk about your gallbladder? Oh, friend, guess who you get to hit up if you have any questions? Me. I'll be your sidekick. I will be your co-creator of delicious, fun, and sleepy good times. You'll listen to me talk. You'll be like, oh my God, that's enough. I need to go to bed. Maybe. If you need any help to support you in improving how your sleep is, your quality, and maybe your quantity, hit me up. Send me a private message. We'll get you on the road to sleeping real good, okay? If you know anybody who needs support with sleep, I invite you to share this with them with how algorithms have changed. This is really more than ever a word of mouth kind of deal where you have to actively share it with someone. So I thank you to those who do that, and I give you high fives to those people who are reaching out. Let's get you feeling good. That is it from me today. Join me again next Tuesday. We'll dive into something else on how to support your sleep. Take care, everybody. Salut. À bientôt.